Hey YouTube, welcome out to another Chat Choose Your Own Adventure, aka playing a brief adventure with Dungeon Master Jared. If you haven't seen this before, we did this last year. It was actually a lot of fun, and now we're going to do it again, where it's the same thing. I am going to basically DM chat. All I'm here to do is read the text, click the buttons. All their decision is made by chat. So... now, last year we did the... what was it called? Forgot what it was. It had a vampire at the end. Doesn't matter. This one, we got the Warlock of Firetop Mountain. Which I don't believe this is the one we did. Yeah. So I figure we'll start with that. There is also Blood Bones, which I think was available last year. These kind of like rotate out. With the fire and scribbling sound. It's ambience. I can change it. We prefer Foreboding Forest. Icy Tundra, Dungeon Delve. Ooh, let's go with Dungeon Delve. Alright. Ready, chat? Here we go. The Warlock of Firetop Mountain is a fighting fantasy game book, an interactive adventure in which you are the hero. Okay, so we have options: adventurer or hardcore hero. Oh, this adventure is for like newcomers who've never played before. Hardcore heroes for people who have played before. So like, obviously we're gonna go hardcore. Gotta go hardcore. Alright, let's see our stats. Stamina, I believe, is basically your hit points. It's 12 plus 2d6. Alright, so 18. Pretty average. Our skill is how good we are at fighting. Starting skill is 4 plus 6. Alright, there you go. Maximum skill. And finally, our luck. Luck and magic are facts in life. Your starting luck is 1 plus 4. Solid. Sorry, 4. Sorry, 6 plus 4. So you're at 10. Now you must choose a potion to take with you. And thus we have our first decision point. Chat. Which potion will you take on your quest? A potion of skill, a potion of strength, or a potion of fortune? The options are skill, which fully restore your skill. The strength potion fully heals you. Whereas the potion of fortune will add 1 to your initial luck before fully restoring your luck point. I'm gonna give you guys 1 minute to cast your votes. So again, skill restores your skill. Strength restores your hit points. Fortune increases your luck by 1 and fully restores your luck. Skill like mana. The skill is also used for your swinging your sword and the like. So this is where chat comes in, because we need your votes. Yeah, skills like action points. Alright, and with 57% of the votes, chat wants the fortune potion. If you say so. Next, we must prepare our adventurer's equipment. You begin your adventure with a sword and shield, leather armor, a backpack containing provisions, and a lantern to light your way. Rationing your provisions is key to successful adventure. They may be consumed at any time, By accessing the adventure sheet, each meal restores 4 stamina. Be sure to pay close attention to your stamina and restore it regularly. Your difficulty setting determines how many provisions you begin with. Hardcore heroes begin with 3. During your quest, you may encounter characters and items that alter your 3 scores. Usually, these scores may only ever be restored to their initial amount. On very rare occasions, a particular page may grant an effect that defies this rule. Aside from these occasions, some magic items may also allow you to exceed your initial scores. May the luck of the gods go with you on the adventure ahead. Only a foolhardy adventurer would embark upon such a perilous quest without first finding out as much as possible about the mountain and its treasures. Before your arrival on the foot of Firetop Mountain, you spent several days with humble townsfolk of a village some 2 days' journey from the base. Being a likable sort of person, you found it easy to get on with the locals. Although they told many stories about the mysterious warlock's sanctuary, you could not feel sure at all, or indeed any, of these were based on fact. The villagers had seen many adventurers pass through on their way to the mountain, but very few ever returned. The journey ahead was extremely dangerous, that you knew for certain. Of those who returned to the village, none contemplated going back to Firetop Mountain. There seemed to be some truth in the rumor that the warlock's treasure was stored in a magnificent chest with 2 locks, and the keys to these locks were guarded by various creatures within the dungeons. The warlock himself was a sorcerer of great power. Some described him as old, others as young. Some said his power came from an enchanted deck of cards, others from the silky black gloves that he wore. The entrance to the mount was guarded by a pack of warty-faced goblins, stupid creatures fond of their food and drink. Towards the inner chambers, the creatures became more fearsome. To reach the inner chambers, you would have to cross a river. The ferry service was irregular, but the ferrymen enjoyed good barter, and so you should save a gold piece for the trip. The locals also encourage you to keep a good map of your wanderings, for without a map, you would end up hopelessly lost within the mountain. When it finally came to your day of leaving, the whole village turned out to wish you a safe journey. Tears came to the eyes of many of the villagers, young and old alike. You couldn't help but wondering whether they were tears of sorrow shed by eyes which would never see you alive again. Did we do this one last year? I don't think we did this one last year. I think this is a different one. I thought this was a different one. I thought we had like a vampire-based one. This sounds like last year's? Alright, my mistake. We'll do a different one. Different one. Island of the Lizard King? How much are these? $4? I don't think so. Yeah, mulligan. Citadel of Chaos? Oh. Can we do the Deathtrap dungeon? Are you seeing Deathtrap? Oh, that's the other game, right? Oh, here we go. Deathtrap. Is Deathtrap dungeon pretty good? Check the VOD channel. Was it that same one? Sure. I'll send you guys through Deathtrap dungeon. Why not? 1 second. Sorry, YouTube. Just kidding. We're pivoting to Deathtrap dungeon. Hardcore. Basically the same thing, though. Alright. Stamina. Better. Now you got 21 points of stamina. Skill. I think also better. Skill of 9. Luck. Same luck. And you already chose the Potion of Fortune, so we'll take that. There we go. Alright, actual news story. Here we go. Despite its name, Fang was an ordinary small town in the northern province of Chiang Mai. Situated on the banks of the River Kok, Situated on the banks of the River Kok, it made a convenient stopover for river traders and passengers throughout most of the year. A few barges, raft, and sometimes even a large sailboat could usually be found moored at Fang. But all that was long ago, before the creation of the Trial of Champions. Now, once a year, the river is crammed with boats as people arrive from hundreds of miles around, hoping to witness the breaking of an ancient tradition in Fang and see a victor in the Trial of Champions. Each year, warriors and heroes come to Fang to face the test of their lives. Survival is unlikely, yet many take the risk, for the prize is great: a purse of 10,000 gold pieces and the freedom of Chiang Mai forever. However, to become a champion is no easy task. Some years ago, a powerful baron of Fang called Sukhumvit decided to bring attention to this town by creating the ultimate contest. With the help of the townspeople, he constructed a labyrinth deep in the hillside behind Fang, from which there would only be one exit. The labyrinth was filled with all kinds of deadly tricks and traps and loathsome monsters. Sukhumvit had designed it in a meticulous detail so that anybody hoping to face its challenge would have to use their wits as well as weapon skill. When he was finally satisfied all was complete, he put his labyrinth to the test. He picked 10 of the finest guards, and fully armed, they marched into the labyrinth. They were never seen again. The tale of the ill-fated guards soon spread throughout the land. It was then that Sukhumvit announced the first Trial of Champions. Messengers and news sheets carried this challenge: 10,000 gold pieces and the freedom of Chiang Mai forever to any person surviving the perils of the Labyrinth of Fang. The first year, 17 brave warriors attempted the walk, as it later came to be known. Not one reappeared. As the years passed and the Trial of Champions continued, it attracted more and more challengers and spectators. Fang prospered and would prepare itself months in advance for the spectacle it hosted each year. This town would be decorated, tents erected, dining halls built, musicians, dancers, fire eaters, illusionists, and every sort of entertainer hired, and entries registered from hopeful individuals intent on making the walk. The week leading up to the festival found the people of Fang and its visitors in wild celebration. Everybody sang, drank, danced, and laughed until the day of the trial broke and the town thronged to the gates of the labyrinth to watch the first challenger of the year step forward to face the Trial of Champions. Having seen one of Sukhumvit's challenge flyers nailed to a tree, you decide that this year you will attempt the walk. For the last 5 years, you've been attracted to it, not for the rewards, but for the simple fact that nobody has ever yet emerged victorious from the labyrinth. You intend to make it this the year in which a champion is crowned. Gathering up a few belongings, you set off. And here we go. 2 days' walk takes you west to the coast, where you enter the cursed Port Blacksand. Wasting no time in the city of thieves, you buy your passage on a small boat sailing north to where the River Cock meets the sea. And from there you raft upriver for 4 days until you finally arrive in Fang. The trial begins in 3 days' time, and the town is in an almost hysterical mood of excitement. You register your entry with the officials and are given a violet scarf to tie around your arm, informing everyone of your status. For 3 days, you enjoy Fang's greatest hospitality and are treated like a demigod. During the long merriment, you almost forgot your purpose in Fang. But the evening before the trial, the magnitude of the task ahead begins to dominate your thoughts. Later, you are taken to a special guest house and shown to your room. There is a splendid 4-poster bed with satin sheets to help you rest. But there is little time left for rest. Just before dawn, a trumpet call awakens you from vivid dreams of flaming pits and giant black spiders. Minutes later, there's a knock on your door and a man's voice rings out saying, "The challenge begins soon! Please be ready to leave in 10 minutes!" You climb out of bed, walk over the window, and open the shutters. Already people are thronging the streets, moving quietly through the morning mist, spectators on the way to the labyrinth, no doubt, hoping to find good vantage points from which to watch the competitors. You turn away and walk over to a wooden table on which your trusty sword lies. You pick it up and cut the air with a mighty sweep, wondering what beasts its sharp edge may soon have to meet. Then you open the door to the corridor. A small man greets you with a low bow as you emerge from the bedroom. "Please, follow me," he says. He turns to his left and walks quickly towards the stairs at the end of the corridor. Leaving your guest house, he darts down narrow alleyways between houses, and you have to walk quickly to keep up with him. Soon you come to a wide dirt road lined with cheering crowds. When they see your violet scarf, they cheer even louder and start showering you with flowers. The long shadows cast by the people in front of you shrink as the bright yellow sun rises higher in the morning sky. Standing there in front of the noisy, vibrant crowd, you feel strangely alone, aware of your coming ordeal. Suddenly, you feel a tug on your shirt and see your small guide eagerly beckoning you to follow him. Ahead, you see the looming hillside and the dark mouth of a tunnel disappearing into its depths. As you get closer, you notice that two great stone pillars on either side of the tunnel entrance. The pillars are covered with ornate carvings. Writhing serpents, demons, deities, each seeming to scream a silent warning to those who had passed beyond them. You see Baron Sukhumvit himself standing by the entrance, waiting to greet the contenders in the trial of champions. You count 5 others standing proudly in line, displayed for all to see. There are 2 bare-chested barbarians dressed in furs. They stand completely motionless, legs straight and slightly apart, arms thrust forward to rest on the hilts of their long, double-headed battle axes. A sleek, elven woman with golden hair and feline green eyes is adjusting the cross-belt of daggers wrapped around her leather tunic. Of the 2 remaining men, one is covered from head to foot in iron plate armor with a plumed helmet and a crested shield. The other is cloaked in black robes, only his dark eyes showing between the swaths of his black face scarves. Long knives, a wire garrote, and other silent death weapons hang from his belt. The 5 contenders acknowledge your arrival with the most imperceptible nods of the head, and you turn to face the exultant crowd for the last time. Suddenly, a hush falls over the crowd as Baron Sukhumvit steps forward holding 6 bamboo sticks. You draw one from his outstretched hands and read the word 5th. Then the trial begins. The knight is first. He salutes the crowd before disappearing into the tunnel, and is followed half an hour later by the elf. Next goes a barbarian, and then the dark assassin. Now it is your turn to salute the crowd. Holding your violet scarf aloft, you take one final deep breath of cool, fresh air before turning to pass between the stone-pillared gateway to Sukhumvit's corridors of power, to face unknown perils on the walk, though the mighty Baron's Deathtrap dungeon. The clamor of the excited spectators gradually fades as you venture deep into the gloom of the cavern tunnel. Large crystals hang from the tunnel roof of 20-meter intervals, radiating a soft light just enough for you to see your way. As your eyes gradually become accustomed to the near darkness, you begin to see movement all around. Spiders and beetles crawling up and down the chiseled wall disappear quickly into the cracks and crevices as they sense your approach. Rats and mice scurry along the floor ahead of you. Droplets of water drip into small pools with an eerie plopping sound which echoes down the tunnel. The air is cold, moist, and dank. After walking slowly along the tunnel for about 5 minutes, you arrive at a stone table standing against the wall on your left. On it, there are 6 boxes, one of which has your name painted on its lid. Do you wish to open the box, or do you prefer to continue walking north? It does have your name on it, chat. A box could be anything. Now it's time to vote. Open up your apps, your chat menus, whatever. Be sure to vote. The more people that vote, the better. It could be a mimic. It could be helpful adventuring supplies. It could be a boat. It could be a Twitch Prime sub. Well, overwhelming chat. 91% want to open the box. The lid of the box lifts off easily. Inside, you find 2 gold pieces and a note written on a small piece of parchment addressed to you. After placing the gold in your pocket, you read the message which says, Well done. At least you have the sense to stop and take advantage of the token aid given to you. Now I can advise you that you will need to find and use several items if you hope to pass triumphantly through my Deathtrap dungeon. Signed, Succumbit. Memorizing the advice of the note, you tear it into tiny pieces and continue north along the tunnel. After walking down the tunnel for a few minutes, you come to a junction. A white arrow painted on one wall points west. On the floor, you can see wet footprints made by those who entered before you. It is hard to be sure, but it looks as though 3 of them followed the direction of the arrow, while 1 decided to go east. So now, chat. Choose. Head west following the arrow, or go east in defiance. Place your vote now. West is left? Not necessarily. If you're walking north. Oh, chat's got a split vote. Ooh, this is gonna be a close one. It's only split by 2 votes right now. If you haven't voted, now's the time. Okay, barely winning. 56%. Head west, following the arrow. Following the 3 sets of wet footprints along the west passage of the tunnel, you soon arrive at a junction. If you wish to continue west, following 2 sets of footprints, or we can head north following a single 3rd set of footprints. So 2 of the previous adventurers continued west, only 1 of them continued north. Chat, now which way do you wish to go? Get your votes in. I need as many of you voting as possible. Ooh, this is gonna be another close one. Can chat break the record for fastest death? Oh, that's close. Oh my god, there's no way. Oh, last second final vote. 51% to 49%. Whoever did that last vote, you literally got it at the last possible second. It was almost an exact tie. We're turning north. Ahead you hear the thud of heavy footsteps approaching. Out of the gloom steps a large primitive being dressed in animal hide and carrying a stone club. On seeing you, he grunts and spits on the floor, then raises his club and lumbers on towards you. Looking anything but friendly, you draw your sword and prepare to fight the caveman! To battle! You must fight! So basically, you both roll your dice, add your skill, and if yours is more than theirs, you do damage to them. Uh-oh, they rolled 2 6s. Ooh, caveman hits you, 2 damage. Oh, these are bad rolls. Caveman hits you again, you're down to 17 hit points. There you go, better roll. Caveman's down to 3. Big rolls. Better. 1 last hit. I think you got it. Oh, tie? You both miss. Oh, he rolled really well. Oh, beats by 1. You hate to see it. There we go. There we go. Caveman defeated. You are triumphant. Alright, you defeat this primitive nuisance. The caveman is wearing a leather wristband with 4 small rat skulls hanging from it. Do you want to take his wristband of 4 rat skulls and wear it? Or do you want to head north? I'm gonna put down the vote. I'm just gonna make this vote last like 30 seconds. Because like... Oh, did it work? Hold on. I don't think that worked. Try it again. There we go. Got a feeling that this is one of those votes that doesn't... Yeah, okay, yeah. Probably doesn't shock anyone, but Chad wants to wear the rat skulls. This is actually super fun. This could be good Sunday stream content. I've got Yakuza Kiwami 2 for Sunday. I'm not sure what else you mean. Alright, putting on the rat skulls. The wristband was made and cursed by a hag. It slows down your reaction and dulls your senses. You lose 4 skill points. You kick the tunnel wall in anger and stomp off north. Chat. No, we are the caveman. Well, we're off to a great start. You see a backpack propped up against the tunnel wall. You wonder if it belongs to one of your rivals. Do you want to look inside the backpack? Or continue north? Another vote. This one's titled Unga Munga Backpack. A lot of people in chat's like, we're already cursed, so it's not like it can get any worse. Okay, yeah, this is already 95% loot the backpack, so we'll do that. There is a single gold piece lying in the bottom of the backpack. As you reach for it, you suddenly feel a light tickling movement on the back of your hand. You withdraw your hand slowly, trying to control your mounting panic, and are horrified to see a black widow spider. Before you can shake it off, it sinks its poisonous fangs deep into your wrist. You lose 6 stamina points. Currently down to 9 out of 21 hit points. But you got a gold piece. See? Now you have 2 gold. Chat, I'm gonna do you a favor and just say maybe now's the time to use up some provisions. Rest a little bit, maybe get some hit points back. What do you think? This is me helping you out. You're at 9 hit points. Resting will get you back 4 hit points. There. Now you're back to 13. Only your incredible strength could withstand the poisonous spider's bite. However, you are weakened and you notice your hand trembling as you pocket the gold piece. You lose a skill point. You curse the person who dropped the backpack and set off north again. Oh, sorry, now it's updated to show that with 3. You arrive at a junction in the tunnel. A new branch leads west, but the footprints you have been following continue north. You decide to keep following the footprints. You soon come to another junction in the tunnel. One branch leads east, but wet footprints you have been following continue north, and you decide to follow their trail. The passage opens out into a wide cavern, which is darker but much drier. Ahead, you see the footprints gradually fade, then disappear. There is a large idol in the center of the cavern, standing approximately 6 meters high. It has jeweled eyes, each as big as your fist. There are 2 giant stuffed bird-like creatures standing on either side of the idol. You can climb the idol and take the jewels, or you can continue to walk past it. Once again, chat. I'll do another vote. And while you're doing that, can I get... rename chat to chat, obviously. And you look like that, obviously. Trying to see if there's like, but there's like a colored pictures, but maybe not. There we go. Another close vote. So this one we'll have to let play out. So chat will have to choose carefully because it's only separated by a couple of votes. Some people in chat, they can't all be trapped. All right, 52%. Climb to take the jewels. The idol is very smooth and will be difficult to climb. Do you have any rope? Chat does not have any rope. You slowly and carefully begin to climb the idol. You are about to grab hold of its large ear when suddenly your foot slips. Test your luck. Chat, are you feeling lucky? Whoa! You crit? Oh, wait. You need a luck score of 10 or lower, and you rolled a luck score of 12. Just kidding. You crit missed. Oh, well. You want to roll... For your luck, you want to roll under your luck score. Okay. Well... You lose your balance and tumble headlong onto the floor. You lose 2 stamina points. If you're still alive, you decide against trying to climb the idol again and run forward to the tunnel in the northern wall. Literally not a single thing has gone well for chat. Not much farther down the tunnel, you come across to a closed door on your left. Putting your ear to the door, you listen intently but hear nothing. Do you wish to open the door or ignore it and continue walking north? Make your vote. Here's your map so far, by the way. This is where you started. Then you went to the boxes, took the western path, fought the caveman. Just been a straight line thus far. They can't all be traps. Again, I'm just here to click the buttons and roll the dice. Everything else is chat's doing. But you guys should know, the YouTube munchers wouldn't do anything this foolish. Alright, with 72%, opening the door. You enter a room which is small and completely empty. As you are inside, the door slams shut behind you. Suddenly a voice booms out of nowhere shouting, "Welcome to Deathtrap Dungeon, the ingenious killer labyrinth of my master. Adventurer, I trust you will pay your respects to my master by shouting out his name." And you have two choices. Will you shout, "Hail Succumbit," or "Succumbit is a worm"? Succumbit is the master, that's his actual name. So basically it's, are you going to shout something in favor in Succumbit? Or are you gonna like flip the finger and be like, "Nah, Succumbit sucks"? Another pretty close vote. All right. Looks like with 55%, 56%, chat says, "Hail Succumbit!" Once again, the mysterious voice calls out. Only this time its tone is full of contempt and derision. "So we have a sniveling weed in our midst, do we?" sneers the voice. "My master has a special gift for you, loathsome creep." Suddenly, water starts pouring into the room through the hole in the ceiling. It soon rises above your ankles, and there's no apparent way of escape. You wade to the back door. It is firmly locked, but in desperation you try ramming it with your shoulder. Wouldn't you know it? Once again, chat, you did a decision, and it went against you. Skill test. Sadly, you failed the skill check. We rolled above our skill. You are not strong enough to force open the heavy door. The water is now waist high and you are exhausted from your efforts. The water level rises quickly and you find yourself floating ever upwards until your face is pressed against the ceiling. You are soon completely immersed and unable to hold your breath any longer. Your adventure ends here. The end. Chat. Literally every single thing went wrong. I did nothing. All I did was read the words. So we go again. We go again. Stamina, still solid, 22. Skill, went high skill, 9. Pretty good, because you want to be able to roll under your skill value. Luck, slightly worse luck. So be it. We'll stick with the potion of fortune, because that's what chat said. And then we'll get for just rewind. And hey, look at that. We'll open the box, because chat knows that's beneficial. So you can get that right away. Alright, now first time. You can head west following 3 pairs of footprints, or head east following 1 pair of footprints. Previously, in the way that the version that definitely didn't happen, chat went west, and then from west kept going north. So do you want to do the same thing with having some sort of omniscient knowledge, or do you go a different direction and see what happens from there? Yeah, first time was a bad dream. Okay, 58% says complete opposite. We're going east. Ahead you can see a large obstruction in the tunnel floor, although it is too dark to make out exactly what it is. The wet footprints you have been following carry on towards the obstruction. You can continue east, or change your mind and head back west. Interesting. Chat once again needs to make another decision. I will continue to say nothing. Okay. Pretty overwhelming votes, so looks like chat wants to continue going east. You see that the obstruction is a large brown boulder-like object. You touch it with your hand, and you're surprised to find that it is soft and spongy. You can try to climb over this large brown, soft and spongy-like boulder-like object, or attempt to slice it open with your sword. Now make another vote. Climb over it, or slice it with your sword. There's going to be a lot of these kinds of votes. This is not something you can just put on your second screen and hope to keep up. There's going to be a lot going on all the time. Ooh, another close vote. I'll let this one play out because it's pretty close. Ooh, very close. Chad has voted to slice it with a sword. Your sword easily pierces the thin outer casing of the giant spore ball. A thick brown cloud of spores bursts out of the ball and envelops you. Some of the spores stick to your skin and start to itch terribly. Great lumps come up on your face and arms, and your skin feels as if it's on fire. You lose 2 stamina points. Frantically scratching your itching lumps, you step over the now deflated spore ball and head east. They can't all be traps, question mark? The tunnel makes a sudden turn to the left and heads north as far as you can see. The footprints you are following start to peter out as the tunnel becomes gradually drier. Soon you are beyond the dripping roof and the pools on the floor. You notice the air becoming hotter, and you find yourself panting even though you are walking quite slowly. In a small recess on the left-hand wall, you see a section of bamboo standing on its end. Lifting it down, you see it is filled with a clear liquid. Your throat is painfully dry, and you feel a little dizzy from the heat of the tunnel. You can choose to drink the liquid, or you can ignore it and continue north. It could be something healing. Or perhaps because it's so hot, maybe you need to be quenched, otherwise you get punishment for it later. Chat reminds me of the guy at the roulette table that keeps betting on black, and it comes up with a red number 4 times in a row. So then chat says, well, it's not going to be red this time, and they triple down on black. This is a really close vote. Really close. 52% of the vote continue north and not drink the liquid. The temperature continues to rise and you find yourself dripping with sweat. As you struggle on, the heat intensifies until it feels like a white heat and becomes so unbearable that you begin to pass out. If you drank the liquid, something would happen here. Chat chose to not drink the liquid, which means you shake your head, trying desperately to stop yourself from blacking out, but the heat is too much for you and you fall unconscious to the floor. I think the liquid was probably something that would have kept you cool in the heat, and you would have been okay. I think the growing bamboo out of it was the clue to it. Now we do a skill check. Do we need to roll a total of 9 or lower? 11. The temperature continues to rise steadily, far beyond the limits of human tolerance. Lying on the near molten floor of the tunnel, you fail to regain consciousness. Your adventure ends here. The end. Chat, you're dead again. You're... Okay. That was... I don't even think that was 10 minutes. I don't even think that was 10 minutes. Yeah, first you died from too much water, then you died from not enough water. My favorite thing is that every time you come across something weird or strange and can then examine it, chat's thought is, they can't all be traps. In the adventure called Deathtrap Dungeon. We go again. Opening stamina, pretty garbage. Opening skill, really bad. Opening luck, average. But chat got that potion of fortune. So this might be the worst chat we've had so far. Which means this would be the most successful run, right? That's how it works. Okay, chat. Once more. We'll open the box, get you your gold coins, because I know it makes you happy. You can head west, which is what happened on the first attempt, following 3 footsteps, or head east, which is what you just did. We found the spore cloud. But for the most part, you're gonna have to redo at least one of these decisions. I say we just stand here. Yeah, you could go east, avoid the ball, and drink the water. Or you could go west and then go north again, following what you did before, or keep going west for something completely different. With 58% of the vote, we're going to go back west. Now, like I said, from there, do you do what you do before? You can continue west, following 2 sets of footprints, or you can head north. Previously, when Chet head north, they had to deal battle with a caveman, and then put on his rat skull necklace or wristband. Do we get levels or experience points? No. Not that kind of game. All right, overwhelming 85% going west. So once again, a completely different direction. We don't know what to expect this way. Walking along the tunnel, you're surprised to see a large iron bell hanging down from the ceiling. You may ring the bell, or ignore it and continue west. So thus, chat. Put to a vote. Just a large bell hanging down from the ceiling. Maybe it opens something up. Perhaps it could alert several enemies. Perhaps it could alert allies. Maybe it's a magical bell that strengthens you. It's not a trap. Yeah, perhaps after you subscribe, you also ring the bell for notifications. %. Ring the bell. Bong bong. A dull bong sounds from the bell like a death toll. Everything around you starts to vibrate, and you grit your teeth as your head too starts to shudder. Your whole body is trembling, and you fall to the floor. You quiver and shake, writhing convulsively on the floor as the vibrations intensify. You lose 2 skill points and 2 stamina points. You search desperately for a way of stopping the bell. To stop the bell, will you scream as loud as you can, or try to deaden the bell with your boot? So now your skill is what? Your skill is 3. That means if there's ever a skill check, you have to roll a 3 or less to succeed the skill check. what's the physics of this for either of these to work. Maybe screaming drowns out the sound. Or use your bell to, like, stop the dangly bit inside. Using your boot. Oh, such a close vote. Oh. It's a dead tie. It's a dead tie, 50% and 50%. You know what that means? You know what that means? It comes down to roll of the dice. I have here a d20. If I roll an odd, chat's gonna scream loudly. If I roll an even, you'll try to deaden the bell with your boot. Ready? Odd scream, even boot. It's a 5. You're gonna scream as loud as you can. Scream. Despite the terrible ringing sound in your ears, you hear footsteps coming down the tunnel. Your loud screams have attracted a tunnel guardian. Standing over you is a hobgoblin. His face bears a sickly smile as he pressed the point of his sword against your neck. You are unable to defend yourself and prevent the hobgoblin from running you through. Your adventure ends here. The end. Chat. 3rd time. You're dead a 3rd time. Okay, Mulligan. Woo! Alright. Stamina. Alright, now this is the worst stamina you've had yet. Skill. Pretty decent skill. I mean, they can't all be traps. Luck? Good luck. There we go. Okay. Potion of Fortune. Okay. So once again, we're gonna open the box, get the gold. We're back here. Head east or go west. Can we get a hint? You can't. Because I literally have no idea. It honestly, having a death counter does feel pretty good. The fact that I get to count how many times chat has died. I get it now. That feels good. Raise his hand. Yes, or an Emily. What is it? Can we go to the bathroom? No, you cannot. Wait till class is over. Alright, so we're at 71% for heading east. Now, I don't think you want to turn back, so I'm imagining you guys want to continue east. Now we're back to the big brown, soft, spongy, boulder-like object. You sliced it before and you got spored. I'm going to choose to believe Chad is going to want to do the opposite thing and try to climb over it. I'm going to click the climb button. So I don't think you want to make yourselves itchy. You clamber onto the soft boulder, half expecting to be engulfed by it at any moment. Getting over it is difficult as your limbs sink into the soft casing, but eventually you manage to struggle over it. Relieved to be back on firm ground, you head east. Now we're back into the room with the strange liquid. Again, I could put to a vote if chat wishes to chooses to drink the liquid before heading into the hot fire rooms. But I'm pretty sure you're all going to pick drink it. We will drink the liquid. The water in the bamboo pipe is welcomely refreshing. You gain 1 stamina point. It also contains a magical solution which will enable you to be exposed to melting point temperatures without harm. Discarding the bamboo, you start off north again in good spirits. And we drank the liquid here in the hot room so we can continue on. Although the temperature in the tunnel is higher than you would normally tolerate, the liquid from the bamboo pipe keeps you alive. Mercifully, the temperature now starts to drop rapidly, and soon it feels almost cool again. On the left-hand side of the tunnel is a closed door. It has a small iron plate in it, which might possibly slide open. Oh, chat, we have 3 decisions to make. You can try to open the door, slide the iron plate that's on the door, or ignore it entirely and continue north. Many decisions. Now then. When there's 3 decisions, there's no way of a tie then. Stat-wise. So if you had taken any damage, the bamboo water would have healed you, but you were already at full. Don't have to worry about that. Okay, looks like an overwhelming vote, with over 60% going to sliding the iron plate on the door. The small plate slides open easily, and you find yourself peering into a room with a deep pit in the floor behind the door. On the opposite wall, there are 2 iron hooks, on one of which hangs a coil of rope. If you wish to open the door, jump over the pit and take the rope. That's one option. So basically, if you had not slid open the iron plate, you probably would have walked straight into a pit. But because you did, you can see that there is a large pit with a rope that you could try to leap onto and grab the rope, maybe climbing down or swinging across, or you could ignore all of that and continue on. Chat. Jump the pit and grab the rope, or ignore it all and continue north. If you recall, you did see that statue earlier, and that you couldn't get the jewels from it safely because you did not have a rope. You could have a rope now. Jumping over the pit may require a skill check, who knows, and your skill is 9, which is solid. Okay, so it looks like this one is once again going to be overwhelming favor of jumping the pit and grabbing the rope. So here we go. The door swings open into the room, and you step back and jump over the pit. And you succeed. You put the rope into your backpack and jump back over the pit and leave the room and head north. Chat, you've actually successfully gotten your first piece of equipment. A coil of rope. Rope again. Ahead you see that the tunnel turns sharply to the left. You turn the corner and almost bump straight into 2 fierce-looking orcs, Armed with morning stars and wearing leather armor, you are totally unprepared, and as you draw your sword, one of them swings its morning star at you. It just says to roll a 1d6. And then something happens. 5. What does 5 mean? The orc's morning star crashes into your shield and bounces off harmlessly. The tunnel is too narrow to fight both of them for them to both attack you at once, so you're able to fight one at a time. And now we must fight. The first orc. 2 damage. They only have a skill of 5. So they add 5 to their rolls, and chat adds 11. Easily besting the first orc. Now you must face second orc. Ooh, 1 more skill point, but has less hit points. Might be able to fell him in 2 swings. Grump. Crink. Oh, 1 more swing. Big swing to finish. Yeah, you're welcome, chat. You're welcome. You're welcome. You are triumphant. The orc's morning star crashed. Oh, yep. If you win the fight, yep, you did that. Inside one of the orc's pockets, you find 1 gold piece and a hollow wooden tube. You put your findings in your backpack and set off west. Chat would be like, this guy's got a wooden tube. I'm taking this. As you walk along, droplets of water again start falling from the tunnel ceiling. You see wet footprints made by the same boots that you followed earlier heading west. The footprints lead to a closed iron door in the right-hand wall of the tunnel, but do not seem to go any further. So you can follow these footprints of a previous adventure going to the door, or ignore them and head west. Place your vote. Here's a quick map. Oh, you can actually see all of your previous attempts. You're heading west from here, so you're actually heading away from the Jewel-Eyed Idol and the Disembodied Voice. You're going to be going somewhere else. It's possible. Yeah, it's possible if you continue following those footsteps. Whoever was ahead of you took care of some of the traps for you. There's another close vote. With 51%, we're going to ignore that and just keep going west. Okay. The passage soon leads to a junction. You notice more footprints on the floor, possibly as many as 3 pairs, heading north from the southern passage. You decide to follow them. Oh, we are back here. The passage opens out to a wide cavern, which is darker but much drier. We're back to the idol. Make a vote. You could try to climb the idol to take the jewels, to which we do have a rope. Or maybe the jewels themselves are still trapped and you should ignore it, continuing past it. Every single thing. That can't be a trap. I call this is all signs of a wonderfully done, masterful dungeon master. Where he gets chat fearful of every possible decision. Alright, we're going for the jewels. You do have the rope. You make the rope into a lasso, whirl it above your head, and throw it at the idol's head. Smiling happily as it falls around its neck, you then tighten the noose and start to climb, hauling yourself up the rope. You're soon at the top of the idol, sitting on the bridge on its nose and holding onto the rope. You draw your sword and wonder which eye to prize out first. Oh, shit. Which jewel do you go for? Do you go for the left jewel? Or do you go for the right jewel? What other information there possibly is? The only information he has, like, there's just two eyes. Which one do you want to take? Overwhelming vote. Going for the left jewel, because good adventurers go left. As you touch the idol's emerald eye, you hear a creaking sound below you. Looking down, you're shocked to see the two stuffed birds flying off. Their wings flap in jerky movements, but they are soon above you and look set to attack. Fight the flying guardians one at a time, but your skill is reduced by 2 during this combat because of your restricted position. Bum. Oh, they are kind of tough. Ooh, they beat you by 1, 2 damage. Ooh, they get you again. Oh, no. Oh, God. Cockeye. Got him. Luck. You are lucky. Your weapon hits hard, do 2 more damage. Alright, so luck kind of gives you like a free swing in there. There we go. Luck again. You do have a lot of luck, and that's basically free attacks. Alright, that's 1. Oh god, +8. Hurt. I'm using your luck, chat. You gotta trust me on this. I fucked it up. You take 1. Barely got him. Down to 9 luck. I like those odds. Get him. 8. Beautiful. Free hit. Alright, 2 more attacks. Oh god. Tie? Oh, he beats you by 1. Luck? Okay. Oh. We take 1 less damage. Not what I thought was going to happen. Fight? Oh no. Luck. 7? Take 1 less damage. Oh god. Oh! Luck. 2. Take 1 less damage. All I can do is click the button. I'm just clicking the button. Oh god. I need to hit him 2 more times. I don't think you can potion in combat. Nope. Oh, 1 hit point, chat. Get him. Oh! You are overcome by your enemies. You are dead. You have failed your quest to best Baron Succumbit's Trial of Champions and claim the 10,000 gold pieces. Four. chat has died 4 times. Opening stamina. Oh, God. Opening skill. Okay. Opening luck. Okay. Chat. 5. New portrait? Sure. There you go. Get his pot back up. Oops, broke something. Now, how do you want to do this? We'll go the same path. Oh, this is the bell one. Whoops. Alright. To speed things along, we brought back to the bell. And rather than letting the bell ring the bell and making your brain explode, we're going to ignore the bell and go past it. Alright? This will be the pathway of chat 5. We've seen the pathway of chat 2, 3, and 4. This is the pathway of chat 5. The tunnel veers sharply to the right and continues north for as far as you can see. You hear a tremendous commotion in the distance, growling and snarling and howling. You draw your sword and set off in the direction of the noise. Oh. Ahead in the dim light, you see 2 hobgoblins fighting, punching, and kicking each other furiously. There's a leather bag lying on the floor, and this seems to be what they are fighting over. You can try to talk to them, attack them, or slip by unnoticed. Three choices. Make your vote. Hi guys, Jerd arrive. I hope the leather pouch is just filled with wristbands of rat skulls. Okay. That's pretty close. I'll let it play out, because it could change. No one wants to talk to him. No one wants to try diplomacy. Last few votes. %49% chat has chosen the stealth option and slipped by unnoticed. You creep up behind the fighting hobgoblins and, leaping out of the shadows, push them into a wall as you run by. You look back to see them sprawled on the floor and chuckle to yourself as you hurry on north. The tunnel soon takes another sharp right turn. Following it east, you arrive at a strange obstruction, a line of 12 wooden poles across the tunnel. They are fixed to the walls about half a meter across off the floor and spaced a meter apart. You can either step between the poles or walk across on top of the poles. So it could be, maybe the wooden poles is signifying an invisible path or bridge you're supposed to walk across. Or you could not trust it and walk on top. Which do you think would be the safer course of action in this, the Deathtrap dungeon? Okay. Ooh, getting closer. Closer still. Ooh. Okay, with 56% of the vote, chat's going to walk on top of the poles. You step confidently on the first pole and stride across to the next. As you land on the third pole, it immediately releases a shower of sharp splinters, each several centimeters long. You lose 2 luck points. They fly out in all directions and at great speed, and you cannot avoid being hit. Roll 2 dice to determine the number of splinters that sink into your flesh. You're going to lose 1 stamina point for each splinter. Four. You've taken 4 splinters and lost 4 hit points. You must rest for a long time to recover from the wounds caused by the splinters. Eventually, you feel well enough to move along. The tunnel ends at a junction. The footprints you've been following turn north, and you decide to stay with them. You soon come to another junction in the tunnel. One branch leads east, but the wet footprints you've been following continue north, and you decide to follow their trail. We're back at the idol. Put up a vote. It's got those 2 jewels in its eyes. And maybe this time you just go for the other eyeball. Do you have 9 skill? Or perhaps you find it too dangerous to do at all and would rather just ignore it and continue on. Can you truly just ignore the treasure? Another close vote. Okay, 56% of the vote. Chat says to ignore it and continue on. I assume because you don't have the rope. Not much further down the tunnel, you come across a closed door on your left. Putting ear to the door, you listen intently but hear nothing. This is a different door. You can open this door or continue walking north. This is not the door that had the sliding plate on it, so this is not the pit room that has the rope. This is something else. I don't think you've been to this door before. Oh no. Oh yeah, this is the, no, you went to this door. This is the door that had the disembodied voice. Now you could try again and choose something else. Or you can be like, yeah, you know what? Maybe that door decision was kind of poor. And ignore it and go elsewhere. Yeah, you could open it and decide not to simp. Alright, with 74% of vote, we're gonna open that door again. And I'll assume chat wants to make the other decision and say Succumbit is a worm? Once again, the mysterious voice calls out, only this time to your great surprise, in a far less threatening tone. Good. My master likes those who show spirit. Take this gift to help you. It will grant you one wish. But one wish only. Farewell. A gold ring magically appears out of nowhere and lands at your feet with a gentle tinkle. You pick it up and put it on one of your fingers. The door opens, and you step back into the tunnel and continue north. You have a ring of wishes. Oh. The tunnel twists and turns, but keeps steadily north. Ahead, you see a thin shaft of blue light streaming down from the ceiling to the floor. It sparkles and shimmers, and you can see images of laughing faces in the light. Oh, it's all of chat's previous lives. So you can walk through the light or walk around it. It's just a blue column of light of laughing faces. They're having a good time. Maybe you won't have a good time. This is just all of chat laughing anytime I tell a joke on stream because I'm that funny. There's no way this is a trap, right? What if you walk around them and they all suddenly stop laughing? All right. Chad wants to walk around the light. You come to an arched doorway set in the right-hand wall of the tunnel. The heavy stone door is closed, but there is an iron latch and a round handle. Another new door? Open the door, or ignore it and continue. Show you the map? Yeah, you're past the laughing faces now. Not yet, whatever this door is. While chat makes a decision, since you're missing exactly 4 hit points, we'll use up some provisions. You heal chat for 4, so you're back up to full. So now you have full hit points, you're welcome. Alright, this is another overwhelming 85% say open the door. Lifting the latch and pushing the heavy stone door open, you find yourself in a large cavern. The light is dim and murky, but your eyes begin to adjust. You see that the walls are covered in green algae and running with moisture. The floor is strewn with straw. The atmosphere is warm, damp, and fetid, and a soft humming sound fills the air. You step gingerly through the straw towards a corner of the cavern, where there appears to be a shallow pit. Peering warily into the pit, you are disgusted to see a mass of pale, writhing worms, some as much as half a meter long. Utterly nauseated, you're about to turn away when you notice that their undulating bodies are swarming round a dagger, its point held fast in a crack in the pit floor. The hilt is cased in black leather studded with opals, and the blade is fashioned from a strange reddish-black burnished metal you've never seen before. You long to touch the dagger, but this would mean plunging your hand in among with the writhing worms. Do you reach for the dagger? Take a vote. Do you reach for this dagger and deal with the big ol' maggots? Or do you ignore it and press on? It can't possibly be a trap. Like chat's motto. This time it's probably not a trap. Okay. 72% of the chat says reach for the dagger. Taking a deep breath, you lean over the pit and plunge your forearm into the mass of wriggling worms. They are cold and clammy and feel extremely nasty, but at least they are harmless, and you are able to seize the dagger by the hilt. You give it a hard tug and it comes away from the crack in which the tip was embedded. Admiring its beauty and wondering whether it might once have belonged to some luckless contestant, you put the opal-studded dagger firmly in your belt and leave the cavern. Free dagger. As you make your way back to the doorway, the buzzing sound increases in intensity, and you look around desperately to discover where it's coming from. Glancing up in the nick of time, you see the huge and grotesque black shape of a giant fly emerging from a recess high up in the cavern wall. As it gets closer, you realize that it is at least 1.5 meters long. Its opaque wings vibrate, making the sickening buzzing noise you can hear, and its 6 black, hairy legs are poised to grasp your body. Below its multifaceted eyes is a long, shiny black proboscis, which darts in and out venomously. You have stolen the giant fly's treasure from her brood of maggots, and you must take the consequences. That was a daughter for her children, and you just took it. It's just a luck check. All you have to do is roll 8 or lower. 3! You are lucky! You manage to evade the outstretched legs of the diving giant fly. Stepping back, you draw your sword and prepare to fight the hideous insect as it turns to attack you again. We fight! It has 8 stamina and a skill of 2. Now there is an option to try to attempt to escape. Chat is at completely full hit points except for luck. It must die. Oh, huge swing. Bam! Alright. Going for another swing. Huge! Swing again. Oh, tie. Okay, we missed. That's fine. Swing. Looks good, looks good. You're welcome. It's down to 2. You're welcome. We got this. Big swing. Tie. Nope, we got it. Flawless victory. You are triumphant. You're welcome. You wipe the vile yellow slime from the blade of your sword and walk quickly to the door, back into the tunnel, and head north. The tunnel ends shortly at a junction. Looking left and right, you see a narrow passage disappearing into the dim distance. You can head west, or you can head east. Yeah, we can see we have dagger now in our inventory. Here's we are map-wise. No idea where we are, so you can go either east or west. Don't really know what either one means.
Sweet.
Master Shutdown links that Twitch Prime. I don't think there's a way to actually equipping the dagger. Yeah. Okay. 57%. We're going to go west. Ahead, you hear the sound of rocks being ground and crushed. The noise grows louder, and suddenly you realize that the wall on your right is starting to collapse. Terrified, you watch as a large, hideous, worm-like creature with a gaping mouth and extraordinary powerful mandibles slithers through a hole in the wall. Its great jaws continue to crunch the rock as it turns its head slowly from side to side, feeling the cool air in the tunnel. It appears to be totally blind, but seems to know of your presence, perhaps sensing the heat of your body. It starts to slither towards you with its mandibles wide open to attack. You can choose to fight the rock grub, or run back east. Make your vote, chat. Maybe the east is a trap. No, there's no way the east could be a trap, right? Or maybe the east is the trap, and the rock grub is actually the safe place. It's a grub. How skilled can it be? Good question. Who knows? Ooh, very close. 52%. We're gonna fight the rock grub. Alright, you may escape after 2 attack rounds by running west down the tunnel. Okay, so we only have... We'll have to see how it goes. After 2 combats, if it's not going well, we can try to run away and continue the direction we were going without having to turn back east. So... that's got a lot of hit points. That's a lot of hit points. Not so much anymore. First hit. And there's the second hit. Okay. It basically has 4 hits left. We can continue to fight it, or attempt to run. We could also try to use luck to get extra damage in against it. I'm going for the luck. I rolled poorly. We do 1 damage against it. That's, I mean, it's still 8 damage. Fight! Tie. Alright, tie. Good hit, good hit, good hit. Luck again! Damn it. A grazing hit. Another good one. Luck one more time. Ooh, good luck. Yeah, 2 extra damage. Oh, that's gonna hit us. That's okay, we still have 15 hit points. That's okay, we still have 15 hit points. Ooh. Both miss, both miss. It's down to 1, going for the luck. Luck kill. Oh, it got a hit point back. I see. Never mind. Back. There, we got it. You step around the great bulk of the dead rock grub and peer into the darkness of its borehole. You can only see a few meters, but are able to make out that it inclines slightly and is wet from the secreted slime of the rock grub. If you wish to explore the borehole, you can, or you can continue west. Let chat vote. And since we took a decent amount of damage, I'll once again use some more provisions to heal 4 hit points. Bring us back up to 15. And then we're also down to 3 luck, so I think this is actually a pretty good time to use the Potion of Fortune, which restores all of the luck, and I think increases your luck up to 11. Yeah, now your luck's back up to 11. There you go. You're welcome. Alright, this is another overwhelming vote. We did defeat the rock grub, so maybe it's something. 87% wants to explore its borehole. Tapping the side of the borehole with your sword, you tread your way blindly through the sticky slime. You follow its twisting and turning course for what seems an age and begin to wonder where it might lead. Suddenly you hear a slithering sound up ahead. You freeze with fear, your eyes desperately trying to pierce the pitch black darkness. Before you realize what is happening, you are gripped around the neck by the powerful mandibles of another rock grub. It is the mate of the rock grub you killed and has been attracted to the smell of your sword. It squeezes harder until your neck snaps like a small twig. You're dead. You died again. In retrospect, that was kind of a dumb idea. Yeah, you think? What else did you think was going to live in the walls? The end. Oh, you guys are bad at this. Every thread you must pull on. Every door must be opened. Okay. One last time. One last time. Mayhap Chat the 6th. With good stamina. Decent skill. And deplorable luck. The Potion of Fortune. Chat the 6th. And you look like this. Mohawk. Alright. Take care of these opening bits quite quickly for you. Open that box, get that coin. Alright. He's gonna go fast. First junction, east or west? Oh, it puts the eastern path on this side. So if you go east, that's where you drink the liquid so that you don't melt. As you make your way to the door with the pit, fight some orcs, and then eventually make your way to the jewel-eyed idol. So it looks like everything kind of makes its way to the jewel-eyed idol eventually. If you go west, you could head north to the cavemen, or continue west to the large iron bell with the wooden poles. Alright. East it looks like. This goes towards the obstruction, which is the large brown boulder-like object which we climb over. And then we drink the liquid, so we don't melt. We can slide open the iron plate, jump over the pit and get the rope, head north. And now it's the orcs again. Random die roll 3. What does 3 do? The orc's Morningstar sinks agonizingly into your left thigh and you lose 3 stamina points. Okay, well. And now we have to fight. And I rolled a 2. Okay, pretty bad. Luck? Bad luck. And we take an extra point of damage. Good. Okay, tie roll. Good roll. Damage. Luck. Yeah, 2 extra damage. 1 more hit. There we go. First orc down. Tie. Another hit. 1 last solid hit's all that's needed. Ouch. 1 last solid hit's all that's needed. There we go. Orc's down. This is where we found the door. Okay, decision point. We can open this door or continue west. If we continue west, we'll end up at the jewel-eyed idol, which we can use the rope to climb and try to get some of its jewels. This door, you did not open previously. So we actually don't know what's beyond the door. Alright. Pretty early, but it's 76% open the door, so I don't think that's going to change. Open the door. Oh. The door opens into a large chamber where you are shocked to see one of your rivals who has obviously met a sudden gory death. It is one of the barbarians, and he is impaled on several long iron spikes which are fixed to a frame that is sprung out of the floor. A lot of rubbish and debris litters the floor, concealing a hidden tripwire which he must have stepped on and thus released the spike frame. In the far wall in an alcove, you can see a silver goblet standing on a small wooden table. You can search the barbarian, walk towards the alcove, or close the door and keep moving. Three votes, or 3 options. Everyone vote. Now's the time. Now I know what many of you are already thinking. This barbarian foolishly died into a trap. But that must mean there's no other trap in this room anymore, right? Surely that's the case. A lot of people are voting to search the barbarian, which is interesting. Because he seemed mostly naked. I don't know what you're planning on finding on him. Unless you feel he might have something tucked away beneath his loincloth. So with 70% of the vote, search the barbarian. The pouch in the barbarian's belt is empty apart from strange-looking dried meat unwrapped in a cloth. You can eat the dried meat, ignore it, and go for the chalice, or leave. We are missing hit points. We're missing 8 hit points. Is it potential that the dried meat is just some provisions and that could heal you? Or is the dried meat something unknown? Maybe it's like roasted maggot. Maybe the barbarian intentionally poisoned its own food supply. Surely this won't be a trap. 61% of the chat wishes to eat the meat. You got it. The meat contains herbs which will increase your strength. You gain 3 stamina points. It did indeed heal. Now there's only one more decision. Do you dare go for that chalice that's over in the alcove? The thing the barbarian was going after before he being murdered by a trap? Or is it too risky and you finally leave this chamber? Could there possibly be a trap within the trap? Is there two traps? I want to say they did that in a Saw movie at some point, probably. Or maybe the chalice is filled with magical liquid that strengthens you. It could be anything. Oh, I thought I was about to have to roll the die again, but one last vote at the last second. 51% to 49%. Go for the chalice. You walk slowly over to the alcove, carefully checking the floor for any more hidden traps. You see that the goblet contains a sparkling red liquid. Do you drink the liquid? Another vote. Things to consider. They wouldn't just have a chalice of liquid trapped for no reason, right? Unless this liquid is the trap within the trap. Red is the best flavor. What if this strengthens you? Oh! Interesting. Interesting. It says 50% to 50%, but it is 95 votes to 94 votes, but I can see that Tigerhawk voted leave the room 55 times. That seems to be a little lopsided. So I'm gonna put it to the D20. I'm putting it back to the D20. 'Tis the only way. 'Tis the only way. Once again, if I roll odd, we drink the juice. If I roll even, we leave the room. Rolled an 11. We drink the juice. Juice. Lifting the goblet releases a spring catch and a dart shoots out of the wooden table leg. The chalice is trapped. But the juice might not be. So we need to test our luck. Our luck is currently at 5. That means we need to roll a 5 or lower to win the luck roll. Or we could quick drink our potion of fortune to bring our luck up to 8. We do have 17 hit points. Unless you think this dart's gonna instantly kill you for some reason, right? I'm drinking it. Huh! Rolled an 8! You're welcome. We are lucky. Your reflexes are sharp and you quickly jump aside. The dart whistles past, only just missing you, and thuds into the opposite wall. You see the goblet lying on the floor and the red liquid running away in rivulets over the gray stone. We dropped it. At least the goblet may be of use, so you put it into your backpack. Well, we didn't get the juice, but we do have a goblet to go with our wooden tube, so the wooden tube is a straw, right? Now we're back here, and we do have the rope, so I know what chat wants to do. We're going to climb the idol. Now, the last time we pried out the left eye, and the birds got pissed. So I assume this time chat wishes to pry out the right eye. You try to force the point of your sword under the emerald eye. Much to your surprise, the emerald shatters on contact, releasing a jet of poisonous gas straight into your face. The gas knocks you out and you release the rope, bounce down the idol, and crash to the stone floor. Your adventure ends here. You're dead! Oh. Yeah. I know how it goes. Chat always takes the opposite thing they did before. It's like, well, that one didn't go well. Let's try the other thing. And that's what would have happened. At any point in time, you could have just walked on. Why are there so many death traps in Deathtrap Dungeon? You know? Good choice. Now for funsies. One last time. One last time. I'll make the run. It's not chat. This is the Jared run. Okay? I'll see how I do. And my stats are awesome. You know, unironically, I think the Potion of Fortune is probably the best thing to take. Chat did give me a bunch of sweet intel. Okay, let's see. So, what can I do that's most different from chat? I guess fight the caveman. Ignore the backpack? Nah, it's kind of boring. Honestly, it might just be heading east and going to the clear liquid again. Yeah, we'll do that. Continue these, climb over, drink the liquid. Yep. We'll slide open the iron plate, grab the rope. I'll fight these orcs. I rolled a 1. Is that good? The orcs Morningstar thuds into your arm, and I reduce my skill by 4 for the duration of combat? Oh. Actually, that kind of sucks. I might die. Or I'll get him anyway. Let's go. Yeah, or I'll just crush the first orc. Suck against the second one. Ow. Ow, okay. Oh, okay. Lock. Get some hit points back. Oh yeah, this is actually going really poorly for me. I can't fight. There we go. One last good one. Barely. Okay. Real quick, I gotta change up. Oops. How did I do that? It's not letting me change the name? Alright, whatever. Let's see. Yeah, open the door. This is the dead barbarian. I'll search him. Eat his meat. Get some of my hit points back. Boom. Oh, here we go. Sure. Look how handsome I am. I do kind of want that goblet. I'm going for it. Let's go. Boom. Got the goblet. All right. I'm going to choose to ignore the idol. Let's see. It's either... That brings us to disembodied voice. Wait, was that inside the door? I'll keep walking... Keep walking north. Right, this is the light of laughing faces. God, I want to know what happens if you walk through it. It's probably going to make me laugh uncontrollably and lose like several points of skill or something. I'm just going to walk around it. And this is the dagger. You know I love me a good dagger. I'm going for it. It's going to piss off the giant fly, but that's fine. Luck roll. I failed? Uh-oh. The giant fly dives down and seizes you with its 4 legs. It climbs quickly back to the roof of the cavern and you find yourself danglingly helplessly in its grasp. Then, to your horror, it suddenly releases its grip and you fall 10 meters to the floor, landing heavily. You must roll 1 die and deduct this number from my stamina score. I take 1d6 damage. 1. Okay. Nyah! I actually got pretty good skill for this fight. Unlike chat. I'll just take it down. Boom, I got a sick-ass dagger. Okay. And this is the part with the rock grub. I guess I'm gonna go east. You walk down the passage and soon find yourself standing at the edge of a deep, dark pit. The passage continues east on the other side of the pit. You think you could possibly jump over the pit, but you're not sure. There is a rope hanging down from the ceiling over the center of the pit. Do I throw my shield over the pit and jump after it, jump over the pit carrying all my possessions, or reach for the rope with my sword to enable you to swing across the pit? Reach for the rope with my sword? Oh, like kind of pull it towards me? That sounds like a really easy way just to fall in. I'm going to toss my shield over. Just as you're about to release the shield and throw it over the pit, it slips from your fingers and rolls away. You're unable to catch it before it falls down over the pit, clattering down onto the bottom. It slipped. It slipped. Whoopsie doodle. You lose... The loss of your shield reduces your fighting ability and you lose 1 skill point. Okay. Cursing your own clumsiness, you step forward, leap across the pit, and land safely on the other side. What happens? The tunnel makes a sudden left turn and continues north for as far as you can see. You soon arrive at a closed wooden door in the left-hand wall. Go north. Only a few meters further down the passage, you see another closed door in the left-hand wall. The letter X is scratched into the center panel. Putting your ear to the door, you listen intently but can hear nothing. I'm sure there's a letter X scratched there to say, don't go in this. I'm going to keep going north. The passage slowly starts to climb, leading you relentlessly northwards. You do not come across a single junction. There are no doorways or even an alcove to investigate, and you become less guarded as you plod on. After a while, you become so nonchalant that you fail to notice a thin tripwire stretched low across the passage. It is only when your foot catches it and you hear a distant rumble that you realize your mistake. The rumbling sound swells to an almost deafening level, and suddenly out of the gloom of the tunnel ahead, you see a massive boulder rolling towards you, gathering speed with every second. Are you currently equipped with a shield? No. Without the added weight of a shield to hinder you, you turn and run as fast as you can away from the boulder. Oh, that's actually better. It's better I don't have the shield. You run faster than you can ever run in your life, but the boulder is catching up to you. Test your skill. What's my skill at? 6? Skill. Okay. Oh, it's just my skill. I looked at my luck. I'm an idiot. Whatever. You continue running past as fast as you can. Will your body withstand being pushed to these limits? Oh, we're still going. Now roll below my stamina. Oh, automatic success. Your fear gives you a new surge of energy, and somehow your tired legs manage to keep you in front of the boulder. Ahead on your right, you see the welcome sight of a doorway. You lunge at the door, and mercifully it flies open. The boulder thunders past, and you are left lying exhausted on the floor of a large room. You look around the room and see nothing of interest apart from an alcove in the west wall and a stone chair in the middle of the room. Sitting in the chair is the skeleton of an armed warrior, possibly a contestant from years gone by. The skeletal fingers of its right hand are gripped round a piece of parchment. I wish to know the parchment. Touching the parchment, it has precisely the effect you had feared. The skeleton lurches forward and wants to fight. Nah! Skelly fight! Ooh, he's got pretty good skill. But so do I! Uh-oh. Ah, okay, big hit on me. Hit on me, okay. I basically just have to roll better d20s than him. He's at 2. One more hit. I rolled a 7. He rolled a 9. That sucks. I'm at 9. One more. I just need to get him. I rolled a 2. Please just give me a big ol' roll. Oh god, he rolled a 12. Luck. Get a hit point back. Fight! There we go. See? No problem. I win. And I'm gonna eat some of my provisions. 2 of them. Once again, you reach for the parchment, only this time is lying amidst a pile of broken bones. Unfolding it, you see a map of a room with a drawing of a hideous creature inside it. Beneath the monster is a rhyme which reads, "Should you meet the manticore, of its tail beware, shield yourself against the spikes flying through the air." You fold the piece of parchment and put it in your backpack. Repeating the rhyme over and over to yourself, you walk across to the alcove. At the back of the alcove are some steps leading down into a cellar. Cobwebs brush your face as you descend. The cellar's ceiling is quite low, and the floor is strewn with rubbish and debris. In the middle of the wall opposite you is an archway which leads into another crystal-lit tunnel. There are large mushrooms growing on the rubbish to your right. Keep going or eat some mushrooms. I'm not gonna eat the mushrooms. I'm gonna eat it and then I'm gonna become a mushroom or something weird. I'll step through. The tunnel continues west for several hundred meters, finally ending at some steps leading up to a closed trap door. You climb the steps slowly, hearing muffled voices above you. In the dim light, you can see that the trap door is not locked. Knock on the door or burst through? It could be some of the other adventurers. I'll knock. I died. You hear footsteps and suddenly the trapdoor is thrown back. For a few seconds, you're completely blinded by the bright light, and you do not see the goblin thrusting his spear downwards or hear his sadistic laughter as the point pierces your neck. Oh, okay. Well, I made it farther than chat. That's all that matters. Okay, well. I didn't think the trap door was going to be a trap. Yeah, there was no option to, like, gently lift it and try to peek. I was kind of hoping for that. Alright, that is going to do it for the chat. Choose Your Adventure playthrough. Chat died 6 times. Hilariously. Each time. YouTube, I hope you enjoyed chat's misadventures and enjoyed the story time and got to hear the great descriptions. This is good falling asleep content. Alright. YouTube, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it. Enjoy the VOD, and I'll see you in the next one.